So, as I understand it, Tricia, you had an accident in 1994, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Tell me about the accident. Tell me what happened to your body physically, and kind of catch us up on where things are now.
I was on my way to run the Austin 10K. It was my senior year of college. The race was a symbol of getting my life together because, UT is a party school. And so I spent the last couple of months training for this race. And on my way to the race, I know that the first light was yellow. I may have blacked out, fallen asleep, but as I was going through that second light, it was red, and I was going 65 miles an hour, hit another car head on. Thankfully, the other person was not as badly damaged as I was. I had a tray in the back of my seat, and it went through the seat and hit my back and crushed T10, 11, and 12. My foot was fractured, and at the moment I couldn't, I was slumped over to one side. I couldn't even raise up. I waited in the emergency room 12 hours before someone operated on me, and my heart stopped during the operation. I had a full NDE and did recover from that accident.
An NDE means near-death experience.
Yes.
And that has actually, your testimony, your thoughts, your experience has been recorded elsewhere, has it not, together with a number of other NDEs?
Yes, okay. A couple of different researchers from University of North Texas and from the Bio Channel. I survived and back, beyond and back.
I've had I didn't have a near-death experience, but I've had the same sort of spiritual experience that entails myself. That's another topic, okay, but I just thought I'd mention it now. And when you say, was it T10, 11, 12, is that what you said?
The thoracic, which is mid-back.
Middle of the back, okay.
And back then they put large rods that connected upper back to lower back.
Okay. And so the damage was in your back and your foot?
Yes.
Okay. And that was surgically repaired?
Yes.
And if I understand it right, from a previous conversation with you, it was successfully repaired in that you went about leading a normal life. You were doing yoga, which is very demanding on your back. It twists and all that kind of stuff. You were running 10K runs again?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so life went on pretty much normally. Am I right? I think you told me, this is not where on the video, but you were limited. You didn't want to lift too many weights or anything because that might have been damaging to your back. So you kind of watched how, no more than 10 pounds or something like that.
Right. That would put strain on the back.
Okay. So, but other than that, you lived life without a back problem.
Yeah, most people never knew.
Okay. All right. So, the years go by, and then we come to, if I remember right, 2008.
Yes.
And I see a deep breath, because you know what's coming, okay?
Yes.
To discuss some things that are not pleasant, and as a result, are emotionally unpleasant. And if I remember it right, those kind of things, once those started happening, here comes the back problems again. Right?
Yes.
All right. So you have them currently together with a headache and neck problems. Okay. Describe the severity of these symptoms as you sit there now.
Sitting is very difficult. Throughout the day, I usually stand, and I might have to take a break if this is a long period of time, but I would say that my pain is 8 or 9 in the neck. I feel a huge amount of pressure, and I have been diagnosed with osteoarthritis and other problems in my neck, but I don't know where the headaches are coming from. The headache is so intense that I wake up in the middle of the night even with a headache.
And what, on a 10-point scale, what level is the headache right now?
Probably a 9.
Probably a 9. And is it 9 most of the day? Does it fluctuate?
No, it's 9 most of the day.
So you live with
I can forget about it when I'm teaching, but that's about it.
Okay. And you teach as a vocation?
I do, yes.
And what do you teach?
Creative writing and English.
Okay. I would imagine having a headache throughout the day distracts you from just about everything.
It does. It does.
Have you done EFT on the headache?
I have not. I might have tried briefly, but I don't think I fully understood it. So I think that's one of the reasons I'm really excited about this, is to learn from you.
Okay. Well, okay. But let's go back a little bit. There were some emotional issues. What I'd like to do, just so we have them down a little bit, is, and I know a little bit about this from a previous conversation, but we just want to lay them out here for the moment. Your father passed away.
Yes.
There was a divorce.
Yes.
Okay. There were another issue or two involved, which you want to keep private. Okay, and that's okay, and we will do that. But so there were some emotional issues involved around 2008 and the years following after that.
Yes, and actually, I guess I left out, this is my third husband that I'm currently with, so I got divorced right before my dad's diagnosis of brain cancer, and then I immediately met the man that I'm living with now. So yeah, there was a divorce, and then that relationship was kind of tumultuous, and there was another divorce 2 years later. So just a lot of drama.
And the man you're living with now, all not married to him, he used to be your husband, and you're living
yes.
in a manner that is far more congenial, something like husband and wife, but just not officially married. Do I have that right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we've got some emotional issues to go on, but what I'd like to do for the moment is just take EFT and aim it at the symptoms. Now, to me, from the EFT approach, the likelihood is that what's driving those things is unresolved emotional issues. Okay? Don't know that. I don't walk around inside you. I'm just throwing my experience out there, and these are likelihoods. But what I'd like to do right now is just aim this right at your headache. Okay? But sometimes I have no idea what's going to happen, but sometimes if I aim it at the headache, we might also get relief for the neck. So your neck is an 8 or 9, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And describe the pain to me again.
It pushes up at the top of my head, so the muscles right there hurt a lot, and then mid-neck, it feels like a vice is around my neck.
Okay, mid-neck like a vice?
Yeah, like something that just
okay,
pressure.
and then okay, I got the vice feeling. The other one farther up in the neck.
Shooting pain up through the back of the neck.
Oh, a shooting pain. Okay, like a big time sting or something.
Yeah.
Shooting pain.
And then all over the head is a constant throbbing.
So your headache is a generalized throbbing headache.
Yes.
Okay. I oftentimes like to have these descriptions because sometimes when we aim EFT at the symptom changes.
Oh.
From a throbbing, it might be a dull ache, or it might be a shooting pain. I don't know. But that's why I get the description up front. Also, what number do you give your mid-back discomfort?
Mid-back is okay, but lower back, I guess where it's fused, everything is held together, but the other parts of the back are starting to hurt. So lower back is like a 5.
Like a 5, and that would be an ache?
A dull ache, yeah.
Okay. I didn't write those down, but I'm gonna say here 9 headache, throbbing, 8 to 9 neck. We have a vice in part of it, and we have a shooting pain above that, and then lower back is a 5. And how did you describe that again?
Just an ache, I guess. We'll just call it an ache.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to aim at the headache. Okay, so tap with me. Even though I have this headache,
I deeply and completely accept myself. I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay. This headache.
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 I'm just curious. Is a headache still a 9 throb?
Wow, amazingly no. That's wild.
Don't ever say amazingly to me, because I've been at this too long and it no longer amazes me, okay? But tell me what it is.
Shrunk. Instead of being like all over my head, I feel now just a knot in the center of my head.
And is that at a 9 or some other number?
Well, so much of the pain has been relieved that it's hard to say, but I would say that there's some pain still in the neck and then in the middle of the head, like a 4 or 5.
Okay, but you're talking about the neck. Okay.
Okay, but no, in the middle of the head, it's like it shrunk. That's the way I'm describing the headache.
Okay.
It was filling my whole head, and now it's just a point in my head.
It was a full head throb, and now it has shrunk down to what size? A walnut? A baseball? What?
Yeah, like a walnut.
Like a walnut. And that walnut, is it still a throb?
Yeah.
It's a throb. So it's a smaller throb, and it's at about a 5.
Yes.
Okay. All right, hold on a second here. I'm just going to write this down. 5.
I hope that doesn't mean I have a brain tumor.
Well, as you know, I'm not a doctor, so I couldn't tell you. Okay. But let's do another round, okay? Even though I have this walnut size 5 throb headache, that's a mouthful, but go ahead.
Even though I have this walnut size 5 throb headache,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay. All right. Walnut size 5 throb headache.
Walnut size 5 throb headache.
Yeah, you need to come a little bit forward on your head so it's the very top of your head. Okay. Walnut size 5 throb.
Walnut size 5 throb headache.
All right. Walnut size 5 throb headache.
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 Okay. Walnut size, keep going.
Walnut size 5 throb headache.
Okay, under your nose.
Walnut size 5 throb headache.
Yeah.
Walnut size 5 throb headache. Walnut size 5 throb headache. Walnut size 5 throb headache.
All right, check out your headache and tell me if it's still a 5 walnut size throbbing headache.
No. It's probably a 2, and it's just on this side of my head.
All right. Really interesting. And some of the people listening in are aware of this, but let me inform you of it and anybody else who's not aware of this. To me, what drives that headache are emotional issues. The emotional issues and the headache, or the physical symptom, are linked. Now, we haven't done a thing with your emotional issues. We dealt with the symptom, and the fact that it changed to a walnut size 5 throb is suggestive, not a guarantee. It is suggestive that we've done something in the background with the emotional driver to it, not even knowing what it is. Okay, can't guarantee it, but I see so much of this, that's the only conclusion I can come to. Okay, because I never know what's going on inside yourself, and maybe you don't either. A lot of us just don't. It just goes on, you know. So now, and we call that, by the way, chasing the pain. So we started the pain with a throbbing head. It goes to a walnut size 5, okay, and now it's over here and it's a 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but it's no longer that thing that. The throbbing head is a 0. The walnut is a 0. This is a 2. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So whatever was driving the throbbing headache seems to have been resolved for the moment anyway. Whatever was driving the 5 walnut seems to have been resolved. Now we're left with this. Okay, so let's do another round. Even though I have, give me a nature. Is it a shooting pain? Is it an ache? What is
shooting pain or tension? Tension headache, maybe.
Okay, even though I have this right side tension.
Okay.
Even though
I have this right side tension.
In my right side tension headache.
Right side tension headache.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I fully and completely accept myself.
Okay. Right side tension headache.
Right side tension headache.
Right side tension headache.
Right side tension headache.
All right, keep going.
Right side tension headache. 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 Right side tension headache.
Okay, check out this 2 and tell me if it's still a 2 or if it's changed or what.
Yeah, I think I feel better. I would call it, I'm aware of something, but it's like a 1, nothing, not that bad, nothing intense.
What happened to the 2? Is that where you're seeing it?
It's decreased, definitely.
Okay, you have to humor me because I'm an engineer and I only understand numbers. Okay.
Okay, so it's a 1. It's still there.
Okay.
I still feel this right side of my head is heavier.
Okay, but you just pointed to a different part of your head.
Oh, I guess so. Maybe
Okay.
It's the back.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. From what I'm hearing, it has shifted
it's
from
not
being here
it's more here, I guess.
To the back of your head. So is this a 0?
It's a 1. It's still there.
There's a little bit of it there, okay? And you have a 1-ish in the back of your head.
2, 3 in the back.
Or 2 or 3 in the back. Okay, before we go any further now, I want to ask you about your neck. How's the vice?
It's a little better, but it's a lot better actually.
Well,
it's not at the 8 or 9. I'd say it's at a 6.
Okay, that is now a 6. And how about this sort of shooting pain right at the top of the neck?
Oh, that's a lot better. I don't think that's even there.
So that went to 0.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to put words in your mouth. We're
maybe
trying to be
a 1.
0 to 1. Okay. I don't want to ever put words in your mouth because the feedback you give me has to be as accurate as you can make it.
Yeah, I'd say that the back of my head is more painful than my neck right now, and I'd only call the back of the head a 3.
Okay, and so how about the lower back?
Lower back's still at the same place it was. 5.
It's like a 5. Okay. Okay. I'm going to address again the 2 or 3 in the back. The 2 or 3 in the back of your head is a throb?
Yes.
Okay, even though I have this 2 or 3 throb in the back of my head.
Even though I have this 2 or 3 throb in the back of my head, I fully and completely accept myself.
Okay. And then say remaining, remaining 2 or 3 throb.
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 Keep going.
Remaining 2 or 3 throb. 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 Remaining 2 or 3 throb.
Okay. All right, check it out.
Yeah. It's a lot better.
1, 0?
1. 1.
How do you know it's a 1? What tells you it's a 1? How do you know it's not 0?
It's weird. I feel like there's a plate in my head. Like there's something there. It's not causing pain, but I just feel like there's something in my head. But I know that sounds weird, but like there's something there.
Okay, the reason I even ask that question, meaning how do you know it's not 0, is I'll often ask people from emotional issue, this is the physical one, but from emotional issue, they'll say, well, it's a 3. And I don't think it's a 3, just it doesn't seem that way to me. So I'll say, how do you know it's not 0? And they don't know why it's not 0. And that's because they've never been to 0, or it's been so long since they were 0, they don't know what 0 is. Okay?
Yeah, I can imagine.
And so I don't know if you're dealing with that or not. But whatever you're telling me is it's minimal at this point.
Yes,
Okay.
It's so different. Now, oddly, I never have pain in my mid back, but now that the neck isn't tightened up, it's actually the mid back that's kind of tight, and there's maybe like 4 level pain in the mid back and still 5 in the lower back.
All right. Okay. What I want to emphasize is we have yet to get to any kind of emotional drivers here. And I want to emphasize here to people listening in, many EFTers make a big mistake because they will apply EFT to someone's headache, let's say, and they'll have the result you just had. After 1 round or 2 rounds or something, poof, what used to be there just seems to have vanished. And the EFTer oftentimes will make a mistake saying, oh, we're done. Okay? Because the way it's reported is all is well. But if we don't take care of what's driving it, the chances are it's going to show up again in some other form and so on. So we're still on the very surface here. Now, it's possible that just dealing with the surface, just dealing with the physical things, they'll never come back again, or it'll be minor. That's possible. But I don't want to put that as an educational thing, because it's actually unlikely, but it is possible. Okay, so I'm teaching for the moment. So
no, that's great.
Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to address the middle of the back. Okay, and so the middle of the back is you said it's a 4, but describe the pain. Is it a throb? Is it an ache? What is it?
Gripping, and it seems to go up my spine, so it's like, I don't know, maybe it's showing me that part where the injury is affecting the neck or something, because it feels like it goes up. There's a shooting pain up the spine.
Okay, we'll call it the gripping. Okay, there's 2 sensations. There's a gripping sensation in the middle of the back and a shooting pain that goes up the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to zero in just because I choose to do it, okay? Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason here. I'm just going to zero in on the gripping pain.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens, okay? So even though I have this 4 gripping pain, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay, this 4 gripping pain.
4 gripping pain.
All right, keep going.
4 gripping pain. 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 4 gripping pain.
All right, check it out. Is it still a 4 gripping pain?
No, it's a 0.
It's a 0. What about the shooting pain up the neck?
Wow, that's pretty much gone. I'd say that's a 1.
All right, and how about the lower back? It was a 5 ache.
Lower back is fine. There's all I'll call it is muscular tightness in the mid back, like at a 2.
Okay. The lower back is fine, meaning 0?
Yeah, 0.
Okay, it was a 5 ache, and it just stayed that way through most of this until just now, and it seemed to vanish. Okay. So what we're left with is in the middle of the back, and what was that description again?
But is it okay that as I'm sitting here, it doesn't feel as bad? I mean, it did at first, but not so much. The only thing that's remaining is a little bit of neck tension still.
So the middle back thing, whatever you described that a few minutes ago, doesn't seem to be there now?
No, it's like the muscles, I guess, were just tight and they relaxed.
All right. Okay. I'm going to give you a, quote, medical opinion, but it's from somebody who doesn't know diddly about medicine, okay? So you need to know this is just my experienced view for any MDs who might be watching this, okay? It may or may not be accurate. One of the things that EFT does, and does well, is bring relaxation to the system.
Yes.
And that coincides, in my view, with relaxing the muscles. When you have tension, for whatever the reason, that shows up in the muscles, and the muscles pull and contract and all of that, and therefore add to any damage in your back that might cause you some pain. Okay? So as those relax, that contributor to pain, that is the muscle tension, fades. And now we have less pain. That is my non-medical opinion. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
the only pain that is remaining, and it seems kind of generalized, is just up the neck, and still, I don't know why it kind of came back, but this right side of the head.
Okay. The fact that it comes back is indicative of the fact that we're doing a band-aid. Okay, we're taking care of the owie for now. This stuff starts to show up again. Okay, but let's address that. So you had like a 2 or 3 thing back there. Okay,
it's
and
probably like a 4, just the right side of my head and draining, or how do you say it? I guess it's just the right side of my head is throbbing.
Okay. And is it an ache or a throb? What?
Oh no, it's a 4 or 5.
No, is it an ache or a throb or
throb? No,
throb.
ache.
Okay.
Ache. You're right.
Okay. All right. Even though I have this 4 or 5 throbbing, dropping pain. How's that? Okay.
Even though I have this 4 or 5 throbbing, dropping pain.
It's not a pain though. It was a
ache.
It was ache. Throbbing, dropping ache. I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I have this 4 or 5 throbbing, aching pain, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay. Actually, it will go up here. Throbbing, dropping ache.
Throbbing, dropping ache.
All right, keep going.
Throbbing, dropping ache. 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 Throbbing, dropping ache.
Okay, check it out.
I think you're right that I don't really know what it's like to be pain-free. Like I don't know what's normal and what's not. I do have an injury, so I don't know what my normal is. So, but I do feel as close to pain-free as I've ever been.
Okay. Maybe there's pain, maybe there's not, but it's, by your normal estimations, minimal.
Yes, it's definitely like, it's not so intense that I can't concentrate. That was what was so horrifying about that other pain.
All right. Let's go back to the headache only for the moment. I just want to ask you about that. You told me that headache was nonstop, night and day, always at a 9 or thereabouts. And for how long has that been going on?
Since 2008. So,
okay. So that's a whole bunch of years.
Yes.
That's a whole bunch of years. And during that time, it's never... All during that time, has it ever been as low as this?
Only briefly after massage. Like if I get a chair massage for about an hour after that, I feel good. Any other time, no.
Okay, and what I might suggest there, and this is only suggestive, and that is, one of the things that happens with massage is you get relaxed, and your muscles get relaxed.
Yes.
Okay? EFT has a similar effect. We're relaxing the system. Okay, now, I'm going to do a little test with you, okay? You and I, before this video started recording, we're talking about some of the issues. I'd like you to take one of those that was a private issue. I'd like to close your eyes and run through it in vivid detail and tell me what happens to your body.
So I don't have to tell you which one it is?
I just want you to tune into something emotional, and I want to see if that affects your body.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Sorry to put you through that, but how's the headache? How's the back? How's the neck?
Kind of tenses up a little more.
Well, give me some numbers. Headache's back to some number?
Yeah, like 6.
Ah. Okay, how about the neck and the back?
Neck is probably the 3, and lower back's a 3.
Okay. So they're not as bad as they were, but you only spent 10 seconds or 15 or whatever that was zeroing in on some emotionally charged issue, and boop, here they come again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've said this before, but I'm talking to our listening audience now. This is glaring evidence that the real drivers is not the Band-Aid, let's aim EFT at just the physical symptoms. There's more driving it. And we need to do that if we're going to do the client the best service possible to get rid of the true drivers. Okay? So, get rid of my soapbox here for a minute. So, this one that you tuned into, was it one that you and I considered private?
Yes.
Okay, Tricia. What we just did was you and I talked on on this, and we edited this part out. This is a very private issue that you tuned into, yet it's one that likely has a real contribution to the physical issues that you have. Okay. So it's you and I are going to talk about it in the form of a decision you had to make, and one for which you felt and still feel some guilt about. I have that right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me talk about guilt for a minute. Guilt is one of those things that in most cases clients are hesitant to dig into. I mean, they're more than happy to talk about something that happened to them, a trauma, somebody did something to them, an accident or something that the outside world did to us. Okay? Much easier to get into because the blame is out there someplace. When we get to guilt, sometimes too close to home. That's a decision we had to make, something we did do or did not do and should have, and all of that, okay? So clients tend to leave that last, yet it tends to just fester, seethe under the surface. And the interesting thing about it is that everybody, there is no exception, has reasons for guilt. There's not a person on this planet, myself included, who wouldn't love to turn the clock back and redo a few things, okay? But it's just the way life unfolds. So, we're going to deal with this one. And so I want to deal with it in EFT's most efficient way, as though it as a specific event. Now, I know it was a decision that you made and had, a decision happened over time, probably, and different consequences occurred in some place. But in all of this, where the guilt comes in the decision, can you narrow that down into a 1 or 2 minute little movie? I made this decision, or somebody said something to you about it, or you had some realization, or something like that?
Yes, I can just narrow it down to one moment.
Okay. And now, what I want you to do, this is a form of what we call the tearless trauma technique, although it's not always just tearless, it's actually relatively tearless, okay? But rather than close your eyes and go through this and dig into it and vividly imagine it and all of that, which can cause you some distress, I want you to make a guess for me. If you were to close your eyes, vividly imagine this, in all its glorious red, white, and blue terms, what number of intensity do you guess you would get to?
It would definitely be a 10.
Okay. All right. In fact, you're already there just mentioning it. Okay, great. All right. And so if this was a movie, the movie would last, what, a minute, a few seconds, what?
Ooh, a minute.
It would last a minute, and there's like one crescendo in it, I hope.
Yes.
And whoop, this is, oh God, that kind of thing. All right. If this movie had a title, all we need here is a title that means something to you. You can even use initials if you want. Just a title of the movie that would mean something to you. What would that title be?
Oh, and as a writer, I should be able to come up with a title for this. Okay, this sounds... No, that's not going to do. Can I... Uptown.
Uptown. Okay, it's the Uptown movie. Okay, all right. Even though I have this Uptown movie...
Even though I have this Uptown movie...
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay. So now... what we're going to do is be very general here. We're going to be I'm not going to get specific at all at this point. We're going to be very general, very global, because we want to kind of take the edge off of this, okay? So you say the Uptown movie.
The Uptown movie.
Uptown movie.
Uptown movie.
Uptown movie.
Uptown movie.
All right, keep going.
Uptown movie. Uptown movie. Uptown movie. Uptown movie. Uptown movie.
All right, just guess again for me. If you were to vividly go through this, imagine it, would you still be a 10?
All I know is that I'm feeling so much relaxation, and I keep yawning, and I don't think I've ever felt this relaxed. It's really weird. I'm a very uptight person, and this, yeah, I don't think I would cry if I thought about it.
Okay. Remember, I'm an engineer, so if you can help
so
me out with a number or two.
Okay, if 10 is, horrified and crying, then this is more like actually watching a movie that isn't mine. It might still cause some emotion, so 3.
So you think you went from a 10 to a 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
It's a guess. Okay, I have you a little higher than that, so I want to do another round or two. Okay. That doesn't make me right, by the way. My thermometer thing I have in my head is simply a guide. That's all it is. Okay. So, tap with me. Even though I still have some of this Uptown movie.
Even though I still have some of this Uptown movie.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This Uptown movie, remaining Uptown movie.
Remaining Uptown movie.
Remaining Uptown movie.
Remaining Uptown movie.
All right, keep going.
Remaining Uptown movie. 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 Remaining Uptown movie.
Okay, I'll make a little note here. Okay. I love to hear the sighs. And people who are watching my videos here often know that that's a sign of emotional relaxation. It just tells me something worthwhile is going on. Okay. So, if you were to run this Uptown movie in vivid terms, and imagine it, would you think you'd still be a 3, a 10, or what number do you think you would be?
I think I'd be a 1 or 2. I mean, we'll say right. 2 to be on the safe side, since you said it was higher. Okay,
we'll see. So, if you're comfortable, go ahead and run the movie. Wait, but I'm going to give you some instructions first. I'm always trying to be as humane as we can. Okay. And that is, I want you, if you would, put yourself in a movie theater seat and watch the movie out there. You know, it's happening out there. You're dissociated from it. Watch it from that point of view and tell me what number you get to. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think I get to about a 4. Like I would feel a deep connection with it.
Okay. Okay, so
like if I was watching it and it was an actual film, I'd probably cry.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad I had you do that because you were giving it a 1, etc. And you're actually, when you got into it, your guess wasn't. You're giving it a 2. Your guess wasn't quite on. Okay. So tap with me. Even though I'm watching that Uptown movie.
Even though I'm watching that Uptown movie.
And I still get worked up about it.
I still get worked up about it.
I feel some guilt.
I feel some guilt.
True statement?
What was that?
That's a true statement. I feel some guilt.
I feel some guilt.
Is that a true statement though? Do you?
I don't know if it's guilt. I just feel sorrow more so than anything. I think, and if it was someone else, I would just feel compassion.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad I asked the question. When we started this, you were tuned in to the guilt feature of this. Was correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now I asked you to visit what the emotion is, and I didn't hear guilt. I heard sorrow. Okay. In EFT terms, that is typically known as shifting aspects. Somehow or other, at least at this stage of it, the guilt thing is not as important as the sorrow thing. Now, am I saying this? I mean, does this work for you?
Yeah, like there was a lot of self-torture almost, and now if I saw it in someone else, I'd still cry, but it would just be sorrow.
Okay, so at this point, I don't know whether that's a normal level of sorrow. I mean, you go to a movie, you see a movie, and it's a sorrowful movie, let's say. You cry or you laugh or you whatever, is a result of the movie. And these are normal responses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if your response is a normal one or not. I suspect it's a little bit beyond normal.
It's probably a little bit overly emotional.
Okay. Even though I'm a little over the top here in sorrow.
Even though I'm a little over the top here in sorrow.
Okay. Now, you always need to correct my words if they don't seem right, okay?
Okay.
So those words seemed okay?
Even though I'm a little over the top in sorrow.
On this Uptown movie.
On this Uptown movie.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Fully and completely accept myself.
Okay. Remaining... The sorrow in the Uptown movie.
Sorrow about the Uptown movie.
Over the top.
Sorrow about the Uptown movie.
No, say over the top.
Over the top sorrow about the Uptown movie. Over the top sorrow about the Uptown movie.
Okay, go ahead.
Over the top sorrow about the Uptown movie. 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 Over the top sorrow about the Uptown movie.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Close the eyes if you're comfortable. Run the movie and tell me. You'll be in the movie theater and watch the movie out there and tell me what happens.
That was very different. I was able to access, I guess, the logical part of my mind and just see it as a movie.
Okay, but I'm still getting some emotional intensity out of you. I mean, I'm perceiving it anyway.
Well, maybe I just didn't want to look at it.
Well, okay, all right.
Maybe that's okay.
Well, no, because at least the way I'm hearing it, because that's saying, well, it's there, but I don't want to see it. That doesn't resolve it.
Okay.
All right. That sweeps it under the carpet. We don't want to do that. We want to resolve it.
Yes.
Okay. So go back and look at it again, but I mean, look at it and tell me what number you get to.
I guess a 3. 3 or 4. No? Okay, it's enough to still make me cry.
Okay.
I don't know what number to give that because it's less than it was. It was at 10, It's less than that, certainly, now.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, what I'd like to do now is start getting a little more specific, kind of get into a little more details, and I'll be talking more general terms. It's still a private kind of issue, and so I'll be using words that I think fit. But you need.
Well, can I say something off the record?
Okay. So we went off the record for a little bit, so you and I could discuss some things and give me some clarity, etc., on these privacy issues. So what I'd like to do at the moment is to use EFT on this guilt issue, just on the guilt issue, which is part of the movie, okay? Because I think going through and watching it, you're bouncing off of the guilt thing, and there's pieces about the guilt that we need to resolve before you can get below them, okay? So anyway, tap with me. Even though I have this guilt.
Even though I have this guilt.
About this Uptown movie.
About this Uptown movie.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
It was the decision I made at the time.
The decision I made at the time.
That seemed appropriate at the time.
That seemed appropriate at the time.
This is correct?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, it seemed appropriate.
At that time, it seemed appropriate.
Let me stop a second. Looking back at it, does it still appear to you that at that time it was appropriate, now that you have hindsight?
Yeah, it does, actually.
Okay. And even though I still realize...
Even though I still realize...
It was appropriate at that time.
It was appropriate at that time.
Logically, I should not have guilt.
Logically, I should not have guilt.
All right, that's an important phrase now. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
But emotionally, I do.
But emotionally, I do.
Okay. So my emotional guilt.
My emotional guilt.
Although it stings. In one sense is illogical.
In one sense is illogical.
And I cannot redo this decision.
I cannot redo this decision.
And there's no sense whatsoever in carrying it around.
It makes no sense carrying it around.
Okay. This illogical decision.
This illogical decision.
This illogical guilt.
This illogical guilt.
This illogical guilt.
This illogical guilt.
Keep going.
This illogical guilt. This illogical guilt. This illogical guilt. This illogical guilt. This illogical guilt.
Okay. I'm gonna pause just for a minute. I'd like to have you say a sentence for me. And after you say it, then tell me on a scale of 0 to 10, not how logically true or false it is, but how emotionally true it feels. Okay? And here's the sentence. I feel guilty for that decision.
I feel guilty for that decision. Emotionally, there's some weight.
Okay, that's what we want. What's the number?
3, 4.
Okay, all right. Even though I still feel some emotional weight.
Even though I still feel some emotional weight.
About that decision.
About that decision.
I realized it was the appropriate choice at the time.
I realized it was the appropriate choice at the time.
I still think that.
I still think that.
Even though I wish I wasn't in the position to make, even though I wish I didn't have to make the decision.
Even though I wish I didn't have to make that decision.
I did have to make it.
I still had to make it.
Okay. Remaining illogical guilt.
Remaining illogical guilt.
All right, keep going.
Remaining illogical guilt. 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 Remaining illogical guilt.
Okay, now In fact, I got to write this down. Say this sentence again for me and tell me on a 10-point scale how it feels emotionally. I feel guilty for that decision.
I feel guilty for that decision. No.
Okay.
It's not pulling me down.
Okay. That doesn't mean we have resolved your guilt for all time on that.
Yes.
That means for now we've done something worthwhile with it. Probably kicked a part of the center out, etc. But there's more to do. I am curious now. Assess your headache, your neck, your back, and so on.
There's stiffness in the neck, but wow, the pain is not really there.
Okay.
So headache, 1 or 2, neck ache, it's all around 1 or 2. The 2, we'll call it 2.
Okay. And I didn't ask you much about this in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so. As we were dealing with these emotional issues and the guilt and seeing the movie and all of that, were you aware of the pains?
Yeah, the headache would definitely come back as I looked at it.
Oh, okay. Any idea of the numbers?
Probably a 4 or 5, and now it's a 2.
Okay, but it didn't get anywhere close to the 9.
No, it was not there.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, okay, Tricia, let's close this session down, because we've been here almost the better part of an hour.
Yes.
And then we'll close it down, and you and I will talk, and we'll rearrange another time, because there's more to go. Does that work for you?
Yeah, definitely. But Thank you. This was amazing.